One thing about Mr. Patnaik is that he is very punctual and has always been a source of strength. He was the chief guest of Capital Foundation in 2014, and many of the recipients received an award from him, including the Governor of the Reserve Bank of India. I am very pleased that we have two persons who were the awardees and were selected, but because of some colonial rule said we cannot accept the award because we are the senior officials of the Government of India. I am very pleased that one of them is still sitting with us, is Mr. Tuhin Pandey, the Secretary Ministry of Finance. I am obliged that he came to participate in this function. We are just waiting for another 1 minute for Chief Justice Ramanna to come. We had put the Chief Justice because originally we had planned the function for 22nd August. You all must have been aware that we have been sending you one after another reminder and then also sending you the copies of the resumes. You see, where I left was that I want each awardee to recommend 4 or 5 names for the awards. You see, they are all very distinctive people and deserve far more greater recognition than this. As I said, if one were to choose for Bharat Ratna, the today's Lifetime Achievement Award man is the best suited for it. And second, we are very privileged to have a class of members. You might have seen in the list we circulate that we have the top medical officers from Army, Major Generals, Lieutenant Generals, Rear Admirals, Admirals, Air Marshals, and they are all distinctive. They don't get awards from the Government of India in terms of gallantry awards which they announce. But these are the people who really deserve. So that's why you find in every booklet, we choose one or the other man from the Army Medical Corps, either from different parts of the country. So, admirals, air marshals, and they are all distinctive. They don't get awards from the Government of India in terms of gallantry awards which they announce. But these are the people who really deserve. So that's why you find in every booklet, we choose one or the other man from the Army Medical Corps, either from different parts of the country. So we have chosen this time also, we have created a history of giving a couple who are both distinguished. One was selected earlier. Please stand and welcome Chief Justice Ramanna.
A very warm good afternoon to all. On behalf of Capital Foundation Society, I, Dr. Charu Mathur, welcome you to the Capital Foundation Annual Lecture and Awards Function. We extend a cordial welcome to our guests, former Chief Justice N.V. Ramanna, Honorable former Chief Justice of India. He was previously a judge of the Supreme Court of India, Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, and Acting Chief Justice of Andhra Pradesh High Court. He has also been the president of the Andhra Pradesh Judicial Academy. We are pleased to confer Lifetime Achievement Award to Shri Navin Patnaik, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha. He has not only been the longest-serving Chief Minister of Odisha, but also one of the longest-serving Chief Ministers of any Indian state, holding the prestigious post for more than 2 decades. With his recent programs like Make in Odisha Conclave, he has definitely showcased Odisha's immense potential for conducive business environment. Odisha has emerged as a sports hub under his leadership, from strengthening livelihoods and food security to focus on marginalized communities and women. All sectors have boomed and prospered under him. We would further express gratitude and would heartily welcome the heart and soul of Capital Foundation Society, our respected chairman, Mr. Justice A.K. Patnaik. He is an eminent jurist, former judge of Supreme Court of India. He has also served as Chief Justice of Chhattisgarh High Court, Madhya Pradesh High Court. His area of specialization has been commercial and constitutional law. Haryana High Court. He is an international judge at Singapore International Commercial Court. He is also the chairperson of News Broadcasting Standards Authority. Thank you, sir, for always encouraging us, being our mentor and guide, and motivating us in our endeavors. Last but not the least, we would warmly acknowledge and appreciate the sincere efforts of Dr. Vinod Sethi, who has been at the helm of all the functions, steering them through successfully since past 35 years. I would further like to introduce our benevolent charitable NGO Capital Foundation, which has been taking baby steps as well as leaps at the same time in areas of democratic governance, electoral and judicial reforms, criminal justice, impact on economy, capital market, amongst the few. As he just suggested, parliamentarians, civil servants, judges, diplomats have all come together and exchanged their ideas at this platform. This is something that makes Capital Foundation different from other public forums. Now, I would request Justice Pramod Kohli to welcome Chief Justice Ramana. Justice Pramod Kohli. I will request Dr. P.N. Arora to welcome the Chief Minister, Mr. Navin Patnaik. Mr. Ashok K. Parija to welcome Justice A.K. Sikri.
That's okay.
He is the Advocate General of Orissa. I would now request Mr. Hariom Jindal to welcome Dr. Vinod Sethi. Thank you, everyone. Now I would request Justice A.K. Patnaik to deliver the welcome note.
A very good morning to you all. In the Indian judicial system, the Chief Justice of India is the busiest functionary. We tried to get him in the month of August 2022 for this function, but he just could not find the time and regretted. But he thought, as soon as he retires, we must catch him. And we have been able to get him for this function. I welcome him to this function today. Chief Minister of Orissa, Mr. Navin Patnaik, is very shy to receive awards. He always says, and makes his public statements also, my work will show what I am. He does not propagate also for his work at the time of election. He says, my work is what I am. It's very difficult to get him from Orissa because he is all the time busy in Odisha attending to the problems of the Odisha state. Somehow we have been able to get him, and that too not because of this award, but because he has lined up other functions here, as came to know from the papers, investment meetings for the state of Orissa. Thank you. We welcome him, Mr. Patnaik. All the other awardees who have come today with their family members, they are also very busy people. And they have taken pains to come all the way from different places of India to receive the national awards. Not only they have come, their family members have come at their own cost and expenses. It's commendable. We welcome you all to this function. Our other guests who are present here, including those from media, and the members of the Capital Foundation Society, I welcome them here because Sunday morning, nobody wants to spare for any other work than the family members. They want to spend the time with their children, grandchildren, and yet they have sacrificed that particular family life and come here to attend to this function. I welcome them all. These days, as I read the newspapers and I watch the televisions, without media coverage of any program, nothing gets known to people. They are so busy. Thank you very much for the guests from media to have made it here. I welcome you all for this function today.
Now I would request Dr. Vinod Sethi to talk about the people who have felicitations for those who have instituted the awards.
Friends, as I said, we do not have any grants from any source, but then for last couple of years, we have started persuading our old friends why not to institute an award. And very, very pleased to felicitate them and welcome them for having instituted. We have Mrs. Zena Sorabji here. In fact, it is Zia Sorabji, the daughter of Mr. Sorabji, whom we had selected long back for a Capital Foundation award, but she couldn't come. We request Mrs. Zena Sorabji to receive the felicitation on behalf of Zia Sorabji, who instituted an award in memory of Mr. Soli Sorabji. Incidentally, Mr. Soli Sorabji was associated with Capital Foundation since 1987, and till 2 years back, he was on the chair here. We have had the privilege please. Where's the sheet? Those four. Bring them. Yeah, please. Give her a seat. You move on the next. Ma'am, please sit down. No, this is meant for sitting. उनको बोलो चारों ले आए. Another person who was instituted an award is Dr. Narendra Singh. He is the chairman of the Chandravati Amma Foundation, educational foundation and charitable organization. He is himself a recipient of a Capital Foundation award in the first function when Justice Kk Patnaik was the chief guest about 10 years back. He is the IIT engineer, did his postdoctoral from Leeds University, and then now he is the chairman of the World University. Bring all the three, beta. Ma'am, please. Dr. Narendra Singh could not come. He is the chairman of the Word College and runs a medical college and an engineering college and a hospital in Jijjar. He has authorized one Mr. J.C. Pasi to receive an award on his behalf. Chief Justice, go.
Who's coming?
He is coming, Mr. Pasi.
I'm the dean of his college.
Mr. Pasi is the dean in the Word Medical College in Haryana. Next you will receive. We also had a huge chapter in Andhra Pradesh, and we received an award on the name of Mr. N. Narottam Reddy, who was a great journalist, member of parliament, and was a social activist. His family instituted an award on his name, and I would request Dr. Charu Mathur to receive an award on Hirani Rao's award. Another man who instituted an award is not here again. You see, none of those who instituted the award said that we want any recognition for it. But we have a tradition to felicitate them in the next function. We had a unique contribution from one of the very old members of the Capital Foundation called C.S. Vaidyanathan. He is a senior advocate who started his practice with Kk Venugopal's father, and then Kk Venugopal. Now he is a senior advocate, a lover of Carnatic music, and has appeared in several cases. I requested his son to come and take it. He said, no, none from my family should do. I don't want. But what he has instituted is a new venture, saying the award on the name of his old friend, Dr. R.K. Jain, who was the president of the Supreme Court Bar Association for 4 or 5 years, and there was an eminent lawyer, and he said it should be given to a person who specializes in criminal law. And that is, Harish is there? No. That is another award which has been instituted. Irshad, you can accept on his behalf and we'll pass it on to him. Irshad, go and accept. Why I call these Irshad and Charu? Because Charu has been on training of taking over Capital Foundation from me. She's associated with Capital Foundation when she was about 13 years, and she used to distribute pamphlets. And for last so many years, I have been trying to say that you should do and take over, because I want the younger lot to accept it and take over these activities. These are the awards. Thank you. Now, Dr. Charu. The first awardee must come and sit here.
Now, I would request Justice Kk Patnaik to present the award to Shri Navin Patnaik. It's the Lifetime Achievement Award to Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha. Okay.
Citation. You give me that. Give me that. Give me that. No, she made a mistake. The award will be given by the ex-Chief Justice, Justice Ramana. Let them kindly sit down now. Right, please sit down now. I'll have to speak why we are giving this award. Now, it is my privilege to speak about the achievements of Mr. Navin Patnaik as the Chief Minister of Orissa. In 1962, when his father, late Biju Patnaik, was the Chief Minister of Orissa, soon after the elections, he addressed a gathering of all government officials of the state of Odisha. And that gathering, and that is a very quoted speech of Mr. Biju Patnaik, he said, he told the officers of the state government, be loyal not to me, be loyal not to my party, be loyal not to my government, gathering of all government officials of the state of Odisha. And that gathering, and that is a very quoted speech of Mr. Biju Patnaik, he said, he told the officers of the state government, be loyal not to me, be loyal not to my party, be loyal not to my government, but be loyal to the destinies of the state of Odisha. It so happened that after Bishop Biju Patnaik expired, Mr. Navin Patnaik became the Chief Minister of Orissa in the year 2000. And he took up that legacy of Biju Patnaik. Mind you, Mr. Biju Patnaik never initiated Mr. Navin Patnaik into politics. He kept them out. But to his credit, I must say, he came as a novice to politics, that is in 1999. First joined the NDA government here, then went back to the state and started the journey of transformation in Orissa. And why, I'll tell you now. First of all, he ensured that the police administration was not being influenced by politicians. That's a great thing. Everywhere in the country you find police administration is totally under the control of politicians. He never allowed it. He had come there soon after the super cyclone in 2099. And cyclones and floods were a disaster in Odisha. He put into place a very effective disaster management system and ensured his target was zero casualty in each of these calamities. He empowered women in the state of Orissa. Biju Patnaik was the first person who provided for reservation for women in Odisha, if you go to Cuttack, you will find many of the traffic stands are full of girl police officials doing their work. What Mr. Navin Patnaik did, he promoted self-help women groups all over Orissa in the rural areas and empowered them with all kinds of concessions from the government. And when I traveled across the mining districts in Orissa in course of my duties entrusted me by the Supreme Court, I find the self-help women groups are doing well, and women have become aspirational, absolutely aspirational, doing very well. They don't want a job. They want to earn money and support the family. And what is most important, he is the Chief Minister who has ensured that 33% of the elected posts, candidates, are for women. Odisha was a food deficit state. And he has ensured a transition from food dispute state to a food surplus. And the state is contributing to the public distribution system of the country. Under the Kalia scheme, which is a Kushak assistance for livelihood scheme, he devised a scheme by which every farmer is being assisted with some money at the time of harvesting and started sowing, and there to augment their agriculture income. He has started now in Orissa schemes all over the state, in urban areas and rural areas, of providing pipe drinking water to every household in Orissa. He has ensured education at the school level improves. In every block in Orissa, there is now Adarsh Vidyalaya, a model school. I have gone down and seen them. They are residential school where girls and boys are admitted on the basis of their merit from the area and given the best of education that is available, that teachers get more salary than what our private schools give. Smart health cards have been introduced, which can be used by people to get free health service. And 90% of the population are benefited by them. These are some of the areas, and it's not that I'm saying from newspapers or some articles, or I have gone round 4 districts, Keonjhar, Sundargarh, Mayurbhanj, and Jaspur. And I've seen how these schemes are benefiting and improving, reducing poverty at the lowest rural level, and also reducing poverty in the urban areas. Wherever he removes encroachments, the encroachers are provided some dwelling unit somewhere else. This is what he's done. These are all new ideas that he has floated, and he has ensured that money of the state government schemes as well as money sanctioned by the central government schemes are all properly utilized and reaches the beneficiaries. All this is possible if you can set your priorities very clear as a leader of the government, as the chief minister. If you prioritize your programs for the poorer sections by spending a lot of money in the social sector, this is possible. And above all, Mr. Navin Patnaik has maintained his personal integrity. It's above board. Credibility, simplicity, and with no sign of arrogance, even though he has been for power for more than 22 years. This is because Capital Foundation Society thought that he should be recognized for his distinctive and outstanding leadership qualities. And today, Justice Ramana will be conferring on him the Capital Foundation Lifetime Achievement Award.
Now, I would request Justice A.K. Sikri to introduce Chief Justice Ramana.
Thank you, and good afternoon to everybody present here. I am asked to introduce Justice Ramanna, but I may say I am not here to introduce him. You introduce a person whom people in the audience doesn't know, or they don't know about him. He is a person, I think in this audience, each and every person knows him very well and knows about him very well. His achievements, not only as a judge or Chief Justice of High Courts, but and thereafter as a judge of Supreme Court, but more distinctively achievements as Chief Justice of India are known to everybody, and these are fresh in our mind. Here is a person who has achieved the distinction of people's judge or citizen's judge. Actually, I may say so without going into the details, and the person in the audience, because you are all belong to that group of intelligentsia, would understand what I am saying. He assumed the office of Chief Justice of India in somewhat difficult times, for the Supreme Court at least, as to what had been happening earlier. And the major task or the achievement which I feel is resurrecting the image or enhancing the image of the court as an independent, fearless court who is to give justice to the marginalized section of the society. He fought for civil rights of the people. He fought for rights of the marginalized section of the society. He even fought for the rights of media and journalists. I remember in one of his lectures, he said, responsible governments are required to respect freedom of the press at all times. There is no justification for allowing a sword of Damocles to hang over the press indefinitely. In today's time, these are powerful words, if I may say so. He worked tirelessly, as Justice Patnaik also said. It is difficult to catch a person who is the Chief Justice of this country, India. I have been the judge of Supreme Court. I have seen Chief Justices working. I may only add that I think the workload of the judge of the Supreme Court is maximum when compared to the workload of any judge in any other jurisdiction. And every day you have to work till 10:30 in night. There are no holidays, there are no Saturdays, there are no Sundays. And I know for Justice Ramanna, 10:30 I spoke for myself, and Justice Ramanna was working till late midnight every day. One good thing, in spite of this busy schedule, and I may say so on a personal note, normally when a person becomes Chief Justice, we don't disturb him unnecessarily because we know he is busy, and particularly when you are no more a judge in the Supreme Court. But whenever I would message him, what is the convenient time I can call you, he would not message me back saying at this time you call me, but he would call me back immediately whenever he would get time. And I think this was his approach towards other judges as well. He has made speeches almost every weekend. He was making speeches at one place or the other. Maybe about 20-30 years ago or earlier, it used to be said that the judges speak through their judgments. Not any longer. Of course, we have to speak through our judgments. These judgments which remain in legal journals and Ramanna, which he gave only as Chief Justice of India. And he touched upon almost every subject. He talked about judicial reforms. He talked on every social issues. As I said, he talked about the justice to marginalized section of the society, justice for women, which is very close to his heart. He spoke without any reservation on all these issues. And administratively as well, his achievements are par excellence. Let me share, and I think everybody knows here, when he assumed the office of Chief Justice of India, for last 16 or 17 months, not even a single appointment was made to the Supreme Court. There were so many vacancies. Within 2 or 3 months of his assumption of his office, 9 persons were elevated as the judges of the Supreme Court. Highest number ever in 1/9 appointments. But it doesn't rest here. 3 of them women judges. So 1/3 of this, they were women judges. And not only it ends here, one of them is going to be the first woman Chief Justice of India. That's the remarkable achievement. 250 judges appointed in various high courts. Total strength is about 1,000 judges. So 25% of the total strength, judges appointed in a period of 1 year or 14 months. This is by no means a mean achievement. It's a big achievement. And another thing which I would say, because when I was coming, Justice Ramanna was telling me, don't have to speak much. He hinted at me. But in the field of arbitration, where we are striving to have some, India as a hub of international arbitration, he again took a very positive and I would say challenging step by opening a center in Hyderabad. I hope with his wisdom and the kind of committee which he constituted of all persons who have very good experience in mediation, and committee which comprises of persons from all over the world, and they will be able to contribute a lot and make, and I think the day is not far off. Within few years, India would be a destination which will be sought after for the arbitrations. So in almost every kind of field, whether it is law, human rights, marginalized section justice to them, administrative prowess, he has distinguished himself. So that was the reason he was chosen. As Justice Patnaik said, we wanted him to give this lecture today, and he has been able to get time, of course, after he demitted office, but we are really keen to hear him. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, sir. The next recipient is Dr. G. Satish Reddy. He is the Secretary, Department of Defense, R&D, and Chairman DRDO. He spearheads indigenous development of defense systems and technologies. As the top defense scientist in the country, Dr. Reddy steers the development of major programs on missiles and strategic systems, fighter aircraft and unmanned aerial defense systems, underwater systems, radar systems. A visionary and institution builder, his technology leadership has deeply impacted the development of best-in-class systems for the Indian Air Force. Dr. Reddy's vast scientific and technological contributions have been acknowledged by leading international institutes in the form of many honors and awards. Today, in recognition of his outstanding efforts in the field of sciences, he is being conferred Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award. And his award would be received by Mr. Rajendra Reddy. In the distinguished presence of Mr. Navin Patnaik, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha. Now I would request Shri Vikas Gupta to please come on the stage to introduce Professor Kk Agarwal.
Namaskar. It is a privilege and honor for me to introduce Professor Kk Agarwal, presently the Chairman, National Board of Accreditation. He has been my guiding force. He has been my sir. He has shaped my career. Thank you so much, sir. Professor Agarwal obtained his engineering degree from Punjab University and master's degree from Kurukshetra University, scoring first division in both the degrees. He did his PhD from Kurukshetra and became a professor in 1975 at National Institute of Technology, Kurukshetra. Thereafter, he became the Pro-Vice Chancellor at Guru Jambeshwar University, Technical University of Haryana, Hisar. In 1998, he became the founder, Vice Chancellor of Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi. Professor Agarwal has been the President of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers from 2002 to 2004. He also served as Sectional President, Information Technology and Computer Science Section in Indian Science Congress Association, President of Computer Society of India, and also the President of Southeast Asia Regional Computer Confederation. Professor Agarwal has extensively worked in various fields of electronics and computer engineering. He has published over 400 papers in reputed national and international journals. He has delivered lectures at University of Berkeley, University of Cincinnati, Florida State University, University of Birmingham, Technical University of Germany, and many more universities. Professor Agarwal has received many honors and distinctions from various countries. He has received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Institute of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineer and Computer Society of India. Today, Professor Kk Agarwal is being conferred Capital Foundation National Award for his outstanding contribution to scientific and technical education by Chief Justice, former Chief Justice N.V. Ramanna ji, in the distinguished presence of Mr. Navin Patnaik, Honorable Chief Minister of India.
Thank you, Dr. Vikas Gupta. For those who don't know, like I belong to Delhi University, Dr. Vikas Gupta is the current registrar of Delhi University. Next, I would request Mr. Anukalp Jain to introduce Mr. V. Sudhish Pai.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I have the profound privilege of introducing Shri V. Sudhish Pai, Senior Advocate. He is a distinguished lawyer, jurist, and an acclaimed author specializing in constitutional and administrative law, who has also had the privilege to assist Dr. D.D. Basu, the world-renowned commentator on the constitutional law. Shri Pai is a resource person at the National Judicial Academy of Bhopal for the continuing legal education of the judges. He has also authored articles and books on a variety of subjects. The Honorable Supreme Court and High Courts have even quoted from his writings. Shri Sudhish Pai belongs to an illustrious class in the lineage of great commentators like Sirabai and Basu. Scholars like him are primarily responsible for the part played by reason and theory in the law. By way of his work, he has accentuated the true meaning of the bar as a learned professional. Today, in recognition of his remarkable and distinctive contribution to the field of law, particularly the constitutional administrative law, as well as legal research and legal literature, Shri Sudhish Pai is being conferred upon with the Capital Foundation Professor Upendra Bakshi National Award by the Honorable 48th Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna.
Congratulations, sir. Please give a big round of applause.